What do you look for in a manual prime lens? Is it a wide aperture for beautiful blurred out backgrounds and great low light performance? Or perhaps its sharpness and image quality? Maybe you just want one for its compact size. Well, whatever it is, there's definitely a reason to get one. Now, I have one last question. How much would you expect it to cost? $500? $300? Maybe even $100? Well, how about $40? There are three price ranges that I've noticed for budget prime lenses. The first one is the plus $150 range, mostly dominated by first-party and big brand lenses from Canon, Sony, Nikkor, Panasonic, Sigma, Tamron, and the like. The second category I noticed is the $40 to $150 range, dominated by lesser-known manufacturers like Neewer, Yongnuo, 7 Artisans, Meike, and more. The last category I noticed was the lenses under $40. I won't mention brands as there are many of them that sell the exact same product. There are two main designs, one of them being a tubular C-mount lens with unusable amounts of edge blur, and a shorter but fatter design with the same mount. There's a 35mm and a 25mm version of this design. I saw in multiple reviews that the 35mm was just a rehoused version of the aforementioned tubular lens, and the edges would be just as blurry. The 25mm sent mixed messages reporting poor quality control and potentially some edge blur. Well, picking the lesser of the two evils, I took the 25mm one, and I think I made the right choice. One of the things that I saw across multiple reviews was poor quality control, from lens mounts that don't stay in one place to infinity focus being non-existent. To say I was worried was an understatement, but on the day that the lens came, I was pleasantly surprised. None of the aforementioned issues seem to exist on my copy, and its build quality is solid. But unfortunately, that might not be the case for you if you decide to buy this lens. It opens up to an f-stop of 1.8, so you can get that creamy bokeh that photographers and videographers strive for. The aperture blades are also symmetrical and well constructed. Low light performance is great, so you can get less noise and motion blur. But here's where the largest issue for this lens resides. Wide open at f1.8, the image gets washed out and everything gets hazy. Even pointing the lens at a window will render the image unusable. Stopping down to f2 fixes these problems, and you won't lose a lot of light or background blur. It's surprisingly small, and its full metal build quality is great, but there are a few mild annoyances that I like to talk about. The lens mounts at an angle, so I have to turn the camera to see aperture and focusing distance. The focus ring is small and stiff, so manual focusing is more difficult on this lens. To add insult to injury, the lens hood blocks access to the focusing ring, especially with my fat fingers. But the front element of this lens is set so far back that it essentially has a built-in hood. The company I ordered from included a load of accessories. It came with a micro four thirds Canon EFM, Nikon 1 Fujifilm X and Sony mount adapters, a lens cloth brush, lens hood, 2 macro rings front and rear caps, and a faux leather bag to hold it all together. The only things that I really used were the macro rings, E-mount adapter, and the lens caps. For $40, you can't possibly expect it to have autofocus. As stated before, the lens's focus ring is hard to operate, but it is doable. There's definitely a learning curve to it, and you would need quite a bit of practice. The biggest tip I have for manual focusing is to use every advantage you have. Turn on focus peak and use the focus assist zoom feature. Hell, even just stopping down the lens as much as possible will help you learn. I recently took a trip to Monterey Bay and Half Moon Bay in California and spent some time shooting with this lens. I filmed a montage with both the kit lens and this lens, and you can check out the full video in the top right corner or in the description. But is this lens really the best you can get for $40? Well, as with a lot of things, it depends. If you're only looking at new lenses, I would confidently say yes. But if you're open to the used market, there are a plethora of vintage lenses on eBay, like the Canon FD line. Well, there's not much else I'd like to say about this lens. It's dirt cheap and performs great. Its issues can be easily overlooked or fixed, and I'd recommend this to anyone that is considering it. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you when I see you.
Bird, I've been trying to reach you about your car's warranty. Bird, come back. I've been trying to reach you about your car's warranty. Bird, please, come back. Please, I've been trying to reach you about your car's warranty. I guess the bird doesn't want the car warranty. Gosh dang it.